All right, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Tazadaq coming back with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the hope of the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakurash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Yah, keeping us pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth in our truth and sincerity and diligence. All right, man, I got this article right here, man. This video not going to be long, man. You know, it's just prophecy that's just happening, man. Here in these time and days, you know, prophecy is just, you know, making itself manifest. You see, the Lord is manifesting prophecy, man. Okay? And the more we see these things, we know we know the closer we get, man. All right? But it says, Belgian Prime Minister says Europe needs to stop virtue signaling against Russia if it wants to survive. Now look, it says yet another European leader is speaking out about how Western sanctions against Russia threaten to destroy Europe this winter by depriving much of the continent of energy. Well, he did not say it quite like that. In more politically correct fashion, Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo simply warned that letting the pipelines run dry and the lights go out is probably not a good way to keep the economy going and people alive. The risk of that is industrialization and severe risk of fundamental social unrest, De Croo told Bloomberg News in an interview about what will happen once the gas pumps run dry and the electricity stops flowing. Like several others in similarly high positions of power, De Croo can see the the writing on the wall, and it is ominous to say the least. I honestly do not see any other choice than doing market interventions, he added. This statement clearly embodies the political correctness that was mentioned earlier. Rather than call out the sanctions for causing this mess in the first place, De Croo is instead calling for more government power and control over the energy markets. All right, it says Europe's largest steel plants are shutting down due to exorbitant cost of energy. We don't get a second chance to prove as 450 million Europeans that we take things in our hands, he said in the interview. What you're seeing today is a massive drainage of prosperity out of the European Union. Did De Croo just admit that Europe's energy crisis is a result of financial shenanigans and not Putin? You see what I'm saying? Because hey, these leaders of the EU nations, some of these leaders of the EU nations, you know, they know that the sanctions that the West put on Russia is crippling their economy. You see, which is going to do what? Cause division amongst, you know, a body, you know, because the EU and the NATO, you know, they make up the Roman Empire today. All right. And so the fact that, you know, these sanctions are crippling, you know, these other economies, you know, it makes them pissed off at the West, you know, because then, you know, everybody's going to come to the conclusion that, man, we're going through this because of the West. You see? Look, it says the price caps De Croo is calling for would apply to all forms of energy, including that which does not even come from Russia, because Vladimir Putin already said that he would stop selling gas. All right, hold on. This is what I wanted to get at. All right, I'm going to start right here. It says, I'm going to start at, a cap on Russian gas only is purely politically, no, that's not what I want to start at. I'm going to start right here. In other words, the energy crisis was already baked into a cake as expected outcome of well. Did De Croo did not say the next part openly. De Croo did not say the next part openly. But that part has to do with decades of market manipulation and over-leveraging, not to mention money printing by private central banks. The banksters' parasites have been ship-owning wealth out of their host countries for a long time. And the energy crisis is just so inevitable outcome of that. with Russia's war in Ukraine as a convenient cover story. All right, so they know, man, all this shit was planned, man. It says the Crows basically admitted to this without actually saying these exact words, by stating that Brussels already knew about Putin's plan to stop selling gas before calling the price caps. Just goes to show that hyperinflation was always in the cards and expected. A cap on Russian gas only is purely politically objective. Adding Belgium's energy minister in defense of broad, inclusive caps on all energy in Belgium. That energy minister added that Belgium will not agree to this, referring to cap on only Russia's energy because the nation's leaders do not see the added value in that. Without stating why this is supposedly the case, the Crow made sure to reassure the public that Belgium will somehow be fine through the winter, even if its neighbors end up suffering societal collapse. In the event, it will still be a gigantic problem for all of us. The Crow added. I keep saying it wrong. The EU is the globalist current experimental zone for zombification of human society, suggested a zero hedge commenter. See, everybody's waking up to the fact that, this is the elites doing this, man. All right, and the elites controlling the West, man. All right. Well, the elites controlling every side of the all sides of the ball, but America's gonna take the fall according to prophecy, man. Okay. So these EU nations, man, they're gonna end up at the end of the day, they're gonna all end up divided, man. But they're gonna all understand that the West, which is America, they're the cause for this. Now, let's go to. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse, I'm going to just start at 39. It says, and after these shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee. And this goes back to what Nebuchadnezzar's dream. It says, another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall break into pieces and bruise. See, that fourth kingdom is talking about the Roman Empire, pursuant to the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. It says, and as whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part iron, the kingdom shall be divided. See, that iron and part clay, that's talking about America. It says, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly divided. All right, so that's basically saying how you got certain EU nations, their economy is much stronger than other EU nations' economy, man. But really and truly, see these sanctions, what they have put on Russia. These sanctions that they put on Russia is crippling, most of these economies here, man. Because a lot of these economies, certain of them, like France, they depend on Russia for gas, man. But with these sanctions, they all in the bed with America, man. They all they're one conglomerate. When they put when they put sanctions on Russia, that's crippling their economy, man. And then they're gonna come to the conclusion, like, man, these sanctions are really destroying us, man. When all their families, when they're going through turmoil in their country, and it's only because we got these sanctions on Russia and we're following after the West, and they're gonna end up turning their back on America. You see? And that's what's gonna happen, man. Okay, it says, as these toes, verse 43 says, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron mixed, even as iron is not mixed with miry clay. All right. So, but the thing is, man, it's like, hey, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. And what's really going to happen is that they're going to all turn on each other. Because when you read, let's go to Matthew the 12th chapter, I believe. Matthew 12 and 25. It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So you got the EU nations, which are all what? Edomite, European countries, man. And NATO, these are all Edomites. And what they're going to do, they're going to be divided amongst each other, man. They're going to be divided in what? They're going to turn on each other, man. And what? A kingdom divided shall not stand, bro. You know? So whenever you go to Revelations, oh, damn. Why is it doing that? I don't know why it's doing that. Revelations. Salaki. When you go to Revelations, I want to say it's the 17th chapter. Revelation 17 and where is it? Yeah. See, this is Revelation 17 and 16. It says, and the 10 horns, which represents what? The EU nations, man. All right? The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked. That whore is who? Babylon the Great, man. All right? America. Okay? It says, look, it says, and the 10 horns that thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, man. So these nations, these nations that's in conglomerate, you know, with America, what they're gonna do, they're gonna turn on America and they're gonna shoot what? Nuclear missiles on America, man. Okay? Because what the scripture says, I want to say that's in Obadiah. They got one that's not in Obadiah, but I think there's one in Obadiah that says that.
Confederacy.
That's one. Let's see. Yeah. Look, this is Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, all men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to thy border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a womb under thee. There is no understanding in him. So all the men of the confederacy, what? Hey, bro, they're going to turn on you, man. All you ones that was in the conglomerate, y'all was in confederacy with each other. You know, everybody was in confederacy with America, man. Hey, they're going to do what? Turn on each other, man. The Lord is going to make that happen. He made that happen in what that is, 2 Chronicles, the 20th chapter. Whenever they was coming up against the nation of Israel, Ammon, Mount Seir, and I forgot the other one. They all turned on each other, and they all end up fighting each other and killing each other, man. That's the same thing that's going to happen here, man. All right? So Esau won't prevail. All right? Because I got another article right here, to show you how divided they are. And I'm going to just start right here. Look, I'm going to just read the title. It says, the EU must punish Viktor Orban, Hungary's authoritarian leader. Now, check this out. It says, where is it? I'm going to start right here. For a second-rate strongman, Mr. Orban, prime minister of a lockland country with a population on par with that of Honduras, has punched way above his weight. Though Hungary is a member of the EU as well as NATO, he has stood apart as a stalwart ally of Vladimir Putin. So when you go into that word stalwart, that means a loyal ally to Vladimir Putin. But hold up, man, we beefing with Russia around this joint. You know? You see, that's how divided they are, bro. You see, it says the Russian dictator. And when he appeared last month before the Conservative Political Action Conference in Texas, he received a rousing welcome despite having warned days earlier that immigration threatened to remake Hungary into a mixed-race country, a remark that prompted the resignation of one of his top aides who said correctly that it invoked Nazi dogma. All right? But I just brought that out to show you, how divided they are, man. We're not finna be sitting up here, we of the great millstone. We're not finna be sitting up here, having fucking snickerdoodles and cake and just coming together with some type of unity camp, and we all disagree on the MOT to the B. Nah, negative. We not rocking like that, So it's division here in the the womb that was healed, man, which is America, man. The offshoot of the Roman Empire, man. It's division here, man. And this place only got so long, man. I wouldn't be surprised if we out of here, man, by in the mid 2023, man. We got prophecies, and I'm just just throwing that out there, man. I'm not saying that we're gonna be out of here before that, or we're gonna be out of here right when that happened. But you know what I'm saying? The way how these prophecies are unfolding, man. Hey, look, man. Hey, our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. All right. The EU nations are divided, man. Big division. So with that, man, Lord willing, edifying to the hopeful elect. Shalom.